All right, yeah, it's good to go. In that case, five, four, three, two, one, record. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our coverage of the latest episode of the Legends of Chima TV series, episode 30, Trial by Fire. And as usual, I am joined.
Bionicle.
Yes, it's bionicle.
Sorry, continue.
Funny joke, haha, laughs and laughs.
Hilarious.
As per
Oh,
usual, the
sorry.
links below are in the description. Well, the links below are in the description. The links are in the description below. And I am joined by the usual cast, LJ and Kai.
Hello.
Yep.
Now, this episode was quite a big one and answers a lot of questions about Chima's lore that I figured were previously just forever going to remain unanswered. So, without further ado, LJ, give us a quick recap, please.
Okay. So, episode starts off. We're up in the Phoenix Fire temple thing. And the Phoenix are relaying a bunch of information to our three individuals. Basically, all of Kavora and Chima, they're all in this giant robot that is currently under this huge ocean and got struck down about 100,000 years. Oh, wait. Wrong story. Anyway, turns out that the phoenixes, including saber-toothed tigers, were once this ancient civilization. And all these many years ago, they did this, that, and the other thing. Mount Kavora was in the ground, just a standard. It was just a standard mountain. And the phoenixes were this huge civilization. And Sir Fangar was part of this civilization, and he did a bunch of studying and learning and was one of the brightest and best students, and then decided, well, I'm going to conquer everything. So he goes and tries to conquer everything, and the phoenixes have this great illumination and these 8 special armors worn by certain phoenix individuals. And so they take this great illumination, which does a few things. It sucks a bunch of stuff into the Great Gorge. It basically makes the gorge and sucks a bunch of stuff into it, including all the ice dudes we're currently fighting, and so on and so forth. And it propels Mount Kavora up into the air to where it sits right now, and causes the chi, water, to run out of it, becomes chi, and it dribbles down from Mount Kavora. It also forms the energy field around it. So that's what this did. So basically everything in the series so far, all result of the phoenixes. So they relay this information and show them around a little bit, and then the phoenix gives Eris a fire chi. Says, don't worry, it won't burn you. And she takes it. And then Krager tries to go for a few, gets burned. Well, it's not going to hurt Eris. Eris put, cheese up, bam, red pajamas. So she's flying around and whatnot. All of a sudden, the phoenixes get hostile toward the other two. And they're going, you're not getting any. But one of them's like, well, why don't we let them have some if they complete the trial by fire? Unfortunately, instead of reading the Bionicle book, they get sent down this trap door into this like weird pit of fire with a bunch of stone pillars that they jump across. Antics ensue, specifically with Krager, and they end up jumping down into this pit when they hear a child's voice. Child turns out to be the King Phoenix's son, and it was part of the trial to see if they would disregard their own safety in order to go get somebody else that they don't even know. They do. They find this out. Then they find out they got to cross this huge canal of lava on this one measly little stone with 2 shields. And they have to get across the light of fire, and that'll complete this trial. Well, long story short, antics ensue, legend beasts are there, they do that, light the thing, red pajamas. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, the King of the Lions and Longfang, I think that's his name?
Longtooth.
Longtooth, that was close. Longtooth, they're over with the beavers. And all the ice dudes are coming over to the beavers camp. They're like, we have to defend the beavers. Beavers, what can you do? So, they're like, we can't fight. So, they drain all the water out from around their place so that the ice dudes don't have an advantage. Block it all off and put a bunch of poles and rocks and do all this other stuff that the lions aren't sure what it does. Ice dudes come in, freeze all the water on the one side of this little wall, and the beavers lift all the frozen water with these poles and like make them all tilted. And they're putting up a great fight. They're making all the ice dudes unbalanced, shooting them out of the sky with a bunch of logs.
I was very impressed by the beaver's combat capability in that scenario.
Yeah. Well, later on, that doesn't work so well. They surround them. Chaos ensues. Beavers are running around, turning into beaversicles. Longtooth, he gets turned into a beaversicle. I mean, a lionsicle. He gets turned to an ice cube. And all hope seems lost until, bam! The Red Pajama Squad is here. They throw Laval's dad some fire chi, because apparently when Krager and Eris and Laval did that trial, or just even got the red pajamas, they not only got them for themselves, they got it for the entire tribe. So, bam! Red pajamas. And they all their vehicles start lighting ablaze, turning into system sets, and they're melting all the ice and beating them all back, and everyone's happy. And, antics ensue. The day is saved, and we find out that the Phoenixes have caused everything. Unless I'm mistaken, that's about it.
Quite right.
Wow. That was a very long recap.
Sorry.
If I was to make a review of that recap, I would say it was very long. That would be one of my comments.
I should have put
also
half of that stuff.
Also blue pen?
Half of that stuff should have gone in the nitpicks category.
Yes.
Well,
I thought it was a very good episode. I appreciated several things. I appreciated the exposition dump, even though it was, just a bunch of exposition. It was handled well, and if I feel it was necessary. I appreciate that the beavers were able to do stuff and be relevant, and I also appreciate that the enemies weren't stupid enough to let that best them, and that they just went around their big elaborate plan that shows smarts that do not typically, feature with cartoon villains, and that was very, very well appreciated. And I'm interested in the great illumination aspect because, they're setting up collectibles. Ninjago does it. Chima's going to do it. It's going to be in the 2015 set, hunt for the pieces of armor, etc., etc. Those are pretty much my thoughts on the episode. Oh yeah, and also some funny humor as well, intermixed. What do you guys think?
Kai?
Oh, you want me to go? Finally, I can talk. No, I kind of like this episode too. I felt like it did do a good job of building up the mythology back again. I like the dialogue was is not as clever as some of the dialogue has been. Notably missing were my favorite characters, like the vultures. Not the vultures, just that one vulture. I forgot his name already. It's my bad. But I did like one of the things that stuck to me. I did like Krager's trial by fire reference. He's like, well, usually when people say it, you don't actually mean a trial by fire. I was kind of hoping we'd get out of the fire, but apparently not. One thing that I also admired what Mester said about the the enemies having a strategic kind of approach to dealing with the beavers. They didn't come across head on like they have done. they've they see their enemy and they've made some general custom changes to it. Obviously the Phoenix versus the Ice. I don't know what you call them. The Ice Tribe. What's the official
They're
name
called the
for them?
Hunters.
The Hunters. Okay. Well, that was it was always supposed to happen. They were the natural anti, like the natural force that would come against the like an ice-based tribe. One thing I'm kind of interested in is that the fire, even though the like by default the ice freezes everything over, the fire does not actually burn stuff. It just melts the ice. That's something I found a little interesting from the two aspects of power. Like, so the fire doesn't actually burn the landscape. It just gets rid of the ice, as opposed to ice doesn't just melt fire. It actually freezes the place they're going on. I don't know if it's just how they're using it, or if that's part of the powers of the Phoenix. Can they actually burn the entire landscape? I don't know. But I'm assuming the Phoenix, like, is one of them the Phoenix King?
Yep, Fluminox,
Okay.
the Phoenix.
So he's the one that knighted Sir Fangar then, I'm assuming.
No, Fangar just started calling himself that, from what I understand.
Is it? Okay. I don't know, I just all right, at the point where he's like, Fangar wants total domination, you'd think he'd start calling himself King Fangar.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's really nitpicky. Maybe he just is reserving that for when he finally takes over everything from the Phoenix King. Who knows?
Maybe.
But I do like the fact that Sir Fangar, his thing here is not so much that he was developed from Chi. He's just a very intelligent person, and that's reflected in that character and the actions he takes.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like. Beforehand, I did complain a bit about like how I felt there were too many, like tribes who had whose characteristics were like they were the kind of the dumb people, like the rhinos were the dumb of the rocks, and the gorillas were, I mean, they weren't as dumb, and then you had like the bears who were just they're just sleepy dumb. I like the fact that they have an intelligent villain, and he's portrayed as being intelligent, and he acts intelligent.
And he's not somebody that's just after the Chi. Chi is a means to an end.
Right.
It's not his goal.
Exactly. He's here to take over everything, but he's smart about doing it. Now, I wonder how he's going to respond to the fire aspects that have just been introduced. I wonder if he'll strategize around them.
Evidently, he
so
does,
far,
because we have like 15 more episodes.
I guess so. But I mean, so far it's been a good run with the Sir Fangar, and I hope to see him continue. I like this set of villains. I like them a lot. We did the first real villains I've sat down and I'm like, I liked all of these characters. I liked the subplot with the mother mammoth, and like the brother, and like the baby brother. I like that. I like Sir Fangar. I like the vulture. I like all these characters. So it's entertaining to see them go up against Krieger and Laval. And Krieger and Laval have gotten a lot better as time's gone on, I have to say.
Krieger's good. I've just found myself not... Sorry. I've just found myself not hating Laval as much. I've kind of accepted he is our protagonist. Yeah. I'm going to just get used to him, and I'm not hating him as much.
Back and forth, I think Krieger's kind of more snarkish, more dry, but he's always the one that's making like the quick remarks about what's going on. I like that back and forth they have going. I like it better now that they're not doing the whole flower thing and him going up against somebody else. I kind of like where that's been headed. And yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yup. Aljo, what do you think?
I pretty much agree with pretty much all of what Kahi said. I enjoyed it. Some things are kind of, slapsticky, but it wasn't bad. The scenes with the beavers were especially humorous, though. The stupid helmet.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. Krieger was a little bit more, you expected him to get burned, that whole thing. But no, I enjoyed the episode. I'm glad we got some plot explained. I'm glad we got some backstory explained. Sure, some of the mystery is a little bit gone now, but still. But overall, I enjoyed this episode. I honestly enjoyed it.
I concur. Okay. I think that may wrap it up. Does anybody else have anything they would like to say?
I think that's just about it.
Wow. Okay. For some reason, this seems like it's shorter than our average.
I know
cover.
it is a little shorter. I feel like this is because it was such a informative, kind of like an expositional episode.
Yeah,
There's not
not a lot to talk
there's
about.
not much we can. Right. I mean, it is what it is. It's the lore. I can't.
And it's good. It's very good.
I liked
They've
it. I liked it. I remember we were like, the whole thing religion at the beginning.
That-
We're like, oh god, I can't. We're discussing this, and so now like they have this new story that apparently I think every tribe in Chima is going to have to come to grips with. I don't know if this is going to like do a radical change for people because they all like the beavers have the great builder, the great crocodile, the mother wolf.
People are probably
the-
gonna hate the Phoenix tribe.
possibly. I mean,
maybe seeing
just-
revolts. I'd like if several of the tribes allied
Right,
with the
like-
ice people.
Can you imagine if finally the Greek pantheon arrived and said, "Sorry, we're the gods now," and then like the Christians and the Muslims and everybody are like, "What? What?" I think that's kind of like what's happening now. Like everybody has their own tale of the great story. None of them are correct. I guess it wouldn't even be the Greek gods. It would be like just some other person, like just something that looks nothing like what any religion follows. He's like, "Hey, so I'm God now." Sorry. Yeah.
That's a very apt comparison.
Like long time no see, guys. How's it going down here? That would be the kind of thing that would follow. I don't know if they'll go that far with Chima.
Probably
but
not.
It's kind of an interesting concept
It is
that
the
all the religions are wrong.
poor Chima denizens.
Hope there's no
Chima.
churches made. That would kind of suck.
Oh no.
now we're getting into that part. All
And
right.
on that
Okay,
note,
all right,
that's
this is
enough.
Pulling out. We're pulling out a discussion.
Pulling out, tactical retreat. This isn't over, etc., etc. So, thank you all for watching on coverage of episode 30 of the Legends of Chima TV show, Trial by Fire. We will talk to you soon next week with another exciting episode review. And also, stay tuned for the Ninjago episode 33 and 34 coverage because that show is supposedly airing sometime this month on TV.
Thumbs up.
So we will talk to you then. Goodbye.